Hello and welcome to another edition of the SHU Sports Report. I'm Cody Sullivan.
And I'm Kara Levine. Cody, I can't believe we're already into May right now.
That's right, Kara. Time is flying by as we hit the final month of Sacred Heart sports action. A lot of our spring sports are either pushing toward the postseason or are headed to postseason tournaments as we speak.
Women's lacrosse had quite the final weekend of regular season play. Why don't you get us caught up about what happened?
The Sacred Heart women's lacrosse team had two great wins over the weekend, earning them a spot in the NEC tournament. Last Friday, Sacred Heart took on St. Francis U and started off the battle with an early 4-1 lead. However, with less than 18 minutes to go in the first half, the Red Flash would come back and tie it up 4-4. Both teams continued to fight hard, heading back to the locker room with SHU leading 7-5. Sacred Heart continued to hold until the Red Flash closed the gap and tied the game 14-all. With a little over 2 minutes left, Cassie Cesario put SHU back in front 15-14 with a minute left. The Pioneers then grabbed the ensuing draw control and ran the clock out to secure the win. Leanna Doyle and Caitlin Delaney both scored 4 goals, while Paige Hammock had 8 saves. The win helped Sacred Heart get even closer to the playoff spot, but the trip to the postseason wasn't clinched quite yet. Prior to Sunday's game against Robert Morris, Sacred Heart honored the 9 seniors on the 2017 team. Samantha Carpinello, Alyssa Pierce, Emily Corris, Leanna Doyle, Brenna Betch, Caitlin Delaney, Kylie Calandria, Paige Devine, and Emily Kick. After the seniors were honored in their hard work and accomplishments, they looked to take down the Colonials and push even closer to keeping their 2017 season alive. Robert Morris started off with the lead 2-0, but SHU came back strong with a 6-1 run, bringing the score 6-3. The Colonials fought back, going on a 5-0 run, pushing the score 8-6. Going into the break, the Colonials started the second half where they left off in the first, extending their lead 11-7. With the help of Delaney and Hannah Weiss both scoring twice, SHU took a 13-12 lead with 17 minutes to go in the game. Both teams went back and forth, bringing the score to a tie 15-15 with a little less than 3 minutes left in the game. Pierce scored to give SHU the lead 16-15. Paige Hammock and the defense held off the Colonials, and Sacred Heart would take the win. Delaney's performance over the weekend earned her Defensive Player of the Week as well as Co-Player of the Week. The win was a great way to end the regular season, but all eyes were on the CCSU versus Mount St. Mary's game. With the Sacred Heart win, the Central Connecticut win over Mount St. Mary's, the Pios earned their second straight NEC tournament berth and the fourth and final spot in the upcoming NEC tournament. The Pioneers will travel to Rhode Island to take on top-seeded Bryant Friday, May 5th.
Be sure to check out SacredHeartPioneers.com for the announced time and NECFrontRow.com for the game on Friday.
The women's lacrosse team wasn't the only team to claim a spot in the NEC tournament.
That's right, Cody. The men's lacrosse team also sealed their postseason fate over the weekend. In the first quarter, the Seahawks and Pioneers traded goals as the score stood 3-3. Bryce Yerk and Kevin Kopp would add goals just 35 seconds apart to open scoring in the second, but Wagner would keep it close, tying it up 5-5 before SHU would take 1-goal lead going into the half. As the game went on, SHU would pull ahead 13-8 as Brian Massey and Joe Sagasi would add goals in the final quarter. SHU would take the game 13-11 after last-minute Wagner surge was shut down. Brooke Stutton and Greg Price would combine to make 10 saves in goal, earning Price NEC Defensive Player of the Week. The Pioneers were led by Max Tuttle, who racked up 6 points after scoring 3 goals and dishing out 3 assists. The men's lacrosse team qualified for the NEC Championship for the 3rd time in program history and the first time since 2014 after taking down the Seahawks. Pioneers make their trek to Geneva, New York as they look to face top-seeded Hobart in opening round of the NEC tournament on May 4th.
Be sure to tune in to NECFrontRow.com for the live action as tournament play kicks off. For the men's lacrosse postseason preview, we had Mike Hasse sit down with head coach John Basti for this week's Coach's Corner.
I'm here with Sacred Heart men's lacrosse head coach John Basti to preview the upcoming NEC men's lacrosse championships this weekend at Hobart. Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
It's quite the turnaround for this program. A couple of months ago, we were up in the skybox at the Pitt Center previewing the season, and you were talking about changing the style of play, trying to be a little bit more faster, and now going from 2-13 to now 9-5. Do you feel you've accomplished that goal?
Well, going into the season, we felt like we needed to do something to kind of spark everybody and get everybody excited again. And I think we have accomplished a goal in having a good regular season and really just playing the way we want to play and playing fast and playing one speed all the time. But looking forward, we have to continue to do that. And that's going to be the thing for us going forward into the playoffs, is just being comfortable, having fun, and playing loose, and playing the way we've consistently played all year.
And I'm sure the connotation is, for some people, when they hear playing fast, it's just, being a little bit loose with the ball, just trying to score 20 goals a game. But you guys defend. You're leading the nation in caused turnovers. You're starting 3 close defense. Ryan O'Donohue leads the nation in caused turnovers. Chase Godfrey's 15th. Matt Caracappa's 21st. What is that? Does that lend more to your style, the fact that you have 3 guys playing defense that will force turnovers, get the ball, and get out and run with it?
It's really the key to the whole thing. To run this style, you need to be good up the middle. It's no different from people that follow baseball. You have to be good up the middle to win. It's the same thing in lacrosse. You have to be good in the cage. You have to be good in the face-off X. And you have to be good on defense, because you're going to play a lot of defense. When you play the style, you're going to be playing a lot of defense. And this style is very taxing on our defense. But these guys have really done a great job of understanding that and just kind of dealing with it. And it creates more opportunity for them. And what we understand is, if we can take the ball away, we're on offense. The second the ball is in one of our sticks, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's our goalie, whether it's one of our defensemen, we're on offense. And it makes you play a little bit faster, and it makes you play a little bit harder to understand that you're going to have that freedom to do what you need to do to score, to help the team score a goal. And so I think the amount of defense we've played has lent to the guys being able to take the ball away as much as they have, but it's also their mentality of, this is how we're going to play, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to be the best we can at it. And I think they've really done a fantastic job of preparing themselves physically and mentally to be able to deal with the stress of playing a lot of defense.
And then going along with that, allowing 2.5 goals less per game this year, I think another key to that is Brooks Dutton in goal, 5 times the NEC Rookie of the Week.
Yeah, Brooksy's been great. It's hard to play in any position as a freshman. And to come in as a freshman goalie, it's very difficult. And I think he's done a really good job with it. And the guys play well in front of him. And I also think a lot of it is, our defense was always pretty good. There'd be just a few things here and there that didn't work out. And I think this year they're playing well, everybody together. And I think our defense coordinator, Eric Skelly, is a big reason for that. Eric's been fantastic. He's taught some guys some different techniques that we hadn't done in the past, and he's given them some new verbiage and terminology, and he's done some different things, not many different things, but some different things from the past. And that lends to our guys playing a little bit more free and playing a little bit more aggressive, and it's been really good. But our guys have really, they've done a heck of a job of just understanding what they need to do to make our team successful. And Brooks is a big part of that, as well as every other guy that steps on the field.
And obviously, you got to score goals to win games sometimes, too. You guys have scored 10-plus in 4 of the last 5 games. And one of the guys I think that's been a key part of that is Bryce Jerk, who's moved from being a midi to being one of the 3 guys on attack, and now has a career-high 47 points this season.
Well, we've seen it in Bryce. We knew he could do it. Last year, he had a really good year as a midfielder, played a little attack, but mostly midfielder. And we looked at him as somebody that is so versatile that he can do a lot of different things. And when you're on a team, a good leader is going to do whatever it takes to win. And when we approached him about this, he was all fired up for it. And he did a lot of work to put himself in situations to be successful. But I think it's just kind of a testament to the team. And Bryce will tell you the reason why he's scoring goals and and getting assists and having a lot of points is because of what the other guys are doing. And the system lends to a person like Bryce, to a player like Bryce, who he needs freedom to be successful. And I think we've given everybody on our team enough freedom to where they will be successful if they just play really, really hard every time they're on the field. And it's been really cool to watch. I'll tell you, man, it's been more fun coaching this team than I've ever had before. And I've had a lot of fun coaching. I've had some really good teams and some people that I've worked with, but this has been more fun than ever before.
Now, is that because of you've tried something new and immediately you're seeing the dividends of a 9-5 season and an NEC tournament appearance?
Yeah, I think that kind of lended to the stress of it a little bit, is playing something new and doing something none of us are really comfortable doing. But what it's done is every day going on the field, you're going to see something new and you're going to see something exciting. We can do the same drill 5 days in a row and you're never going to see the same thing twice. But it's always going to be up-tempo. It's always going to be fun. And the guys are playing the guys are playing and having fun doing it. And that's what really makes it exciting and makes it fun, is that they're having fun. And you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it. They're enjoying everything. And this is just kind of the next step to what we want to do, and the next step to enjoying what we want to, enjoying the season and putting into practice everything that we've worked for this entire year.
All right, let's preview the opponent a little bit. Hobart is on a roll right now. They've won 4 in a row. They had to gut out a lightning delay Saturday in Pittsburgh to beat RMU 18-17. They're scoring a lot of goals right now, but when they came here to Campus Field, your squad held the Statesmen to 7, winning 8-7 in late March. What have you seen from the Statesmen over the last couple of games?
They're not much different from what we saw the first time around. The difference is they're just hitting their shots, and they're really good. They shoot the ball very, very well. They play fast. They play this very similar style to us, so I think it's going to be a pretty up-tempo game. But you know, they're also good up the middle. They also have a very good attack group. Their defense is also pretty tough. Their D-middies transition the ball well, and they have 2 lines of offense that runs pretty consistently. So we're looking forward to the challenge. I think they're a very good opponent. I have a lot of respect for their coaches, I've known their coaches for a very long time. And we have a lot of respect for them as a team and the way they play. So I think you're going to see a very similar game to last time, but maybe not. I have no idea. It's the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen.
Thanks again, Coach, for stopping by. We'll all be sure to watch today. Again, be sure to watch the Pioneers on NEC Front Row in the NEC Tournament today at 1 o'clock as they take on Hobart.
Now, before we hit the baseball and softball diamonds, we have Adam Chambers standing by with this week's Update Corner. Adam, take it away.
Thanks, Kara. We'll start off the Update Corner with Sacred Heart Rowing as they competed at the 2017 Spring Metropolitan Championships on Saturday. The varsity A team finished first in their event with a time of 8:03.60. In the varsity 8 heats, the Pioneers won their respective head with a time of 7:25.63. In the final, SHU took the lead from the start and held it, beating out second place Fairfield by 3 seconds. They go on to the 2017 MAC Championship on Friday at Mercer Lake, New Jersey. The SHU men's track and field team competed in the 2017 Yale Springtime Invitational on Sunday. The reigning indoor conference champion Giuseppe DeLucia cleared 13 feet and 11.25 inches in the pole vault competition. He currently sits third in the NEC going into the championship weekend. Josh Beloff took third in the long jump with a season best of 21 feet and 8.75 inches, moving him into the 6th spot in the NEC rankings. Michael Kearns took second in shot put with a New England qualifying throw of 51.5 feet. Kearns currently sits third in the NEC. Sacred Heart women's track and field also competed in the Yale Springtime Invitational. Kayla Lawrence took first in the 200-meter dash with a time of 25.75 seconds. In the hammer throw, Marina D'Amelia placed first with a mark of 183.5 feet. D'Amelia currently ranks first in the NEC. Selena Sampieri and Amy Vegliante went first and second in the pole vault. Sampieri cleared a New England qualifying height of 11 feet and 7.75 inches and currently ranks third in the NEC. Both men and women's track and field head down to Maryland for the NEC Championships hosted by Mount St. Mary's on Saturday and Sunday. That's all we have for this week's Update Corner. I'm Adam Chambers. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Adam. The Sacred Heart softball team wrapped up a busy weekend of games as they clinched a spot in the 2017 Northeast Conference Championship for the first time since 2011. The Pioneers brought their brooms to Robert Morris as they picked up a sweep, besting the Colonials 1-0 and 9-2. In the first game, SHU scored a run early in the top of the first inning thanks to Victoria Diodario, who drove a single to right field and brought home Lauren Delgadillo. That was SHU's only run, but with terrific pitching from Jamie Carlson, Robert Morris couldn't get a run on the board. Carlson would go the distance and pick up her 6th shutout of the season, striking out 5 batters and allowing only 5 hits, leading SHU to a 1-0 victory. In the second game, SHU started things off on fire with Delgadillo doubling to left field, followed by a single from Haley DeRogers. Fallon Bavino would make her return over the weekend, cracking a fly ball to right field to bring in DeRogers. Caitlin Christian would keep the first inning rolling, ripping a double to left field to bring in Andrea Sidor and Diodario. Kristen McCann would also show up to the scoring party, hitting a double to bring in Christian and give SHU a 4-0 start. McCann would shine in her next at-bat in the top of the third as she sent one out of the park to put the Pioneers up 6-0. The Pioneers would go on to take the game 9-2 as McCann picked up the win on the mound, allowing 8 hits and striking out 3 Colonials. The Pioneers kept their brooms as all aspects were clicking for the Pioneers, picking up 2 wins against Hartford on Tuesday. Carlson stole the show in Game 1, pitching a no-hitter for the first time in her career. The Sacred Heart bats were also hot as SHU would put together 13 total hits, with Diodario and Christian each going a perfect 3-for-3 at the plate. 3 Pioneers sent softballs out of the park in Game 1 as Sador and Christian would hit a home run in the third, and Jessica Dubioso would hit her first career home run in the top of the fourth. SHU would keep things rolling into Game 2 as McCann would dominate on the mound, throwing 6 scoreless innings. Before letting 2 runs in the final inning, the Pioneers would take Game 2 5-2, as DeRozers would finish the night 2-for-3 at the plate. The Pioneers wrap NEC regular season play as they take on Fairleigh Dickinson this Saturday in a doubleheader.
What a time for the Pioneers to peak right before a much-anticipated postseason run.
Right you are, Kara. The softball team has really been putting things together when it counts. How about Sacred Heart Baseball in the weekend series they had?
The baseball team had quite the weekend, finishing 3-4 against the Mountaineers of Mount St. Mary's, piling up 43 runs in the span of 4 games. SHU started the series picking up a 19-7 win, led by P.J. DiFilippo, who batted in a career-high 7 runs. The Pioneers would finish Game 1 with 19 hits as they sent 4 balls over the fence. DiFilippo finished with a 3-run home run and a grand slam. Ted Shaw also had a grand slam, and Keith Claybart had a solo home run. James Tabo would get the win on the mound, pitching 5 innings and striking out 4 Mountaineers. The following day, the Pioneers picked up right where they left off, putting up another double-digit game. SHU would take out the Mountaineers 17-4 as every player in the starting lineup reached base and contributed a run. 6 hitters piled up multiple hits as Anthony Capizzello led the way, going 4-for-5 at the plate, while Claybart would bring in 4 RBIs. Brent Teller would pitch 6 innings and take home the win, striking out 7 batters and only allowing 8 hits. The Pioneers would have a minor hiccup in the third game of the series, dropping the game 7-0, but behind the pitching of Baylor Sundell, they would bounce back in the final game to win 7-4. Sundell would pitch 7 innings and strike out 7 batters, while Mike Lumbo would earn the save for the Pioneers. Capizzello was at it again, going 3-for-5 at the plate. DiFilippo earned NEC Player of the Week for the second time. The Pioneers are back in action Friday, May 5th at 3 p.m. as they begin their series with Central Connecticut State.
Kara, what a week to be a Pioneer.
Absolutely, Cody, but we will have more Sacred Heart sports, action, news, highlights, and more next week. From all of us here at the SHU Sports Report, I'm Kara Levine.
Thanks for watching.